Of course. Here's the story about a sad cat left behind by its deceased owner. In a peaceful village, there lived a cat named Whiskers. Whiskers was an incredibly loyal and affectionate pet to her owner. An elderly woman named Mrs. Rose. They would play together, sleep side by side at night, and Whiskers was always there by Mrs. Rose's side throughout the day. However, one day, fate took a cruel turn. Mrs. Rose fell suddenly ill, and within a few days, she passed away. Whiskers, who had been right by Mrs. Rose's side during her illness, felt utterly devastated. She missed Mrs. Rose's gentle touch, her soothing voice, and the warmth she always felt when ill. After Mrs. Rose's funeral, Whiskers felt lost and alone. She wandered around their now empty house, searching for Mrs. Rose. But there was no familiar scent anymore. Each day, Whiskers grew more despondent. Time went by, and kind-hearted neighbors tried to care for Whiskers. They fed her. But Whiskers still felt the emptiness inside. She only wanted one thing, to see Mrs. Rose again. One night, under the light of the full moon, Whiskers sat by Mrs. Rose's grave. She pondered and felt Mrs. Rose's presence around her. She knew that even though Mrs. Rose was gone, their love would remain eternal in her memory. With time, Whiskers began to find solace in the beautiful memories she had with Mrs. Rose. She started to bond with her neighbors and found happiness again, while there was still sadness. Whiskers learned to carry on in life with love and the cherished memories that would always be with her. Thus, Whiskers' story teaches us about the power of love and how we can overcome sorrow in life. Even after losing someone we hold dear,